Hey, we have today on the What podcast another little story. I'm really excited to do this story with Shiny Precious Metals. I've known Shiny Precious Metals for quite a while now. Welcome to the podcast, bud.
Hello, CTM. Well, glad to be here.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, doing well.
Good. Weather good?
Uh, Mrs. Shaney is away in Spain for 5 days.
We.
I had to leave her to the airport at 7 a.m. this morning. So a lot of people who watch my channel know that Mrs. Shaney knows nothing about my stack. There may be a
Hmm.
cat screen
hmm
here.
Hey, what's Pussycat's name?
Dorian. She's a wee Russian
Dorian.
blue, so Dorian for Dorian Gray.
Oh, excellent. Dorian. Nice to see you,
The
Dorian.
dogs are in bed, so if they bark.
Yeah, we know about the girls. Is there girls, isn't it?
Yeah, two sisters out the same litter. Little Lhasa Apso poodle mix.
Excellent, buddy. Now we've been talking on and off for quite some while now, haven't we?
Yeah. I
And
mean, I think we started around the same time, did we not?
I believe so. Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
been
my
going.
video making started around March 23.
Yes, exactly the same as me.
Yeah. So we've
Yeah,
kind of watched each other.
yeah,
Although mine's a little bit different. It's more like a diary of anything I get. I just stick it up on the channel.
yeah. No, it's been good. Like we keep in touch every now and then outside of YouTube, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is
Send
really
messages
cool.
back and forward, yeah.
And well, excuse me, mate. I'm getting we've all had COVID in the house the past couple of weeks, and we're all getting over it. So it's a bit yucky.
Yeah. Touch wood.
But yes, yeah, touch wood. You've escaped all that, have you?
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Now,
Mrs. Shannon went with her sister to Amsterdam for a Taylor Swift concert, and then they came home and her sister took COVID. She was sick with COVID.
oh God,
But
sure.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Or is it a summer cold that's
Oh,
labelled as COVID?
well, yeah, it probably is. It's what
Just
we
like
all
the colds and flus we used to get all our
absolutely.
life.
Yeah, good Dorian. That
There she
gonna
is.
nick some of your silver.
Yeah, she's
Go on,
just, she's
nick it.
probably a rubber face up against.
Oh, bless. How fantastic. Anyway, yeah, we've been chatting on and off. We've probably been on YouTube with our own channels for about roughly the same time.
Yeah.
Um, you've shared with me quite a bit of your personal story, which is really kind, and hopefully we can share that together on a podcast. So, what I do with all the people that come on my podcast is where did Shiny Precious grow up? How did
Well,
he?
I mean,
What was the storyline to get to where we are today? So we can go back to your childhood, maybe. Where
well, I
did you grow
suppose
up,
where
bud?
I live now is Port Rush, Port Stewart. It's like the Giant's Causeway, Bushmills Distillery.
Yep.
It's the north point of Northern Ireland. So, and I grew up about 10 miles away.
Mhm.
And I've had a brother and sister in the town. My mother was from Cork,
Okay.
funnily enough, which is right at the very bottom of the island, and then
Yes.
my father was from the very top. So, and yeah, that's quite interesting growing up. I mean, because of the troubles, I was born in the 70s. In the 80s, the
Okay.
troubles was going off, and my mother
Well,
was from the south, and my
yeah.
father was from two different religions. So I was never raised
Right.
one side. I was always respect one side, the other side.
Yeah.
So I didn't get involved with any politics.
Yeah. What was that?
Uh,
What was that like for growing up as a quite a youngster? Did you
yeah, I mean,
experience much difficulties in your very early ages, or was it more of an issue as you got into your sort of teenage years, or was it ever an issue?
I suppose when you were young, you didn't really. I mean, you had hard border checkpoints. So if I wanted to go to Londonderry or Donegal or down towards Dublin, there would have been hard border army checkpoints.
Mhm.
Open your boot, that kind of thing. But as a kid, you didn't really. That was the norm, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose the Good Friday Agreement then that all got dismantled. But
Yeah.
um, and then where I live now in Portrush, it's like a wee surfy, golfy town. It's a bit hippy dippy, seasidey, arcadey. So there was never any trouble that way.
Yep.
But you get, I suppose, fractions, like housing estates where it would be loyalist, or a
Yep.
village that would be Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was pretty mad, I suppose, back then. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was mainly in the cities, like Belfast and then Londonderry.
Yeah.
It did spill out into little villages. You had to watch yourself if you were working in the forces, say,
Mm-hmm.
police or army, and check below your car every morning. And
Wow.
but yeah, it didn't really affect me, to be honest. I
Good.
mean, apart from there was a couple of years where it got hairy. My father and mother had to. Everybody was looking below the car for things in the morning because they were hitting civilians either
Really?
side or tat.
Wow. Scary stuff. And what sort of age was you when that was sort of happening, mate?
Uh, Probably from about 10
Okay.
up to about 10, 11, maybe 14. There were still bombs going off.
Really?
There's a town. Oh, well, the Coleraine is about 4 mile away from here. They blew up the town centre in it, and then the IRA blew it up. And then I remember living in the countryside in Ballymoney. What's say countryside? It's 10 miles away from here, and they blew up at Coleraine, which was a further 10 miles away. I
Wow.
think I was about 14, and I could feel the windows vibrate in the house,
Really?
almost to the point where I thought somebody was banging on the window.
Wow.
Like wobble, 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 and then
Yeah.
You heard it on the news afterwards. But I suppose that's about as close as it came to me, really.
Yeah. And did you say you had brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got two brothers and a sister. Yeah,
Okay. Are you the youngest, oldest, or?
I've got an older brother, an older sister, and then me, and then my younger brother.
All right, cool.
But yeah, we're all pretty close. Mum and dad are still alive and kicking, and
Excellent.
good contact with them every day. I mean, they're only 10
Brilliant.
mile up the road. It's easy. It's not
Brilliant.
hard to lift a phone or
Yep.
say hello.
So that was your like the first 10 years, and then you get into did they have like infant school, junior school, secondary school then?
Well, the way of the school system is like here, it's like England. You do primary school and then secondary school.
Yeah.
Um, I sort of took up cycling, like Tour de France.
Really?
Yeah, around about 8. I read bikes from I was 8 until I was about 17.
Wow.
A lot of miles. I raced for Northern Ireland, and I've raced in Scotland, and I've raced in Newcastle, England.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Isle of Man. Funny. It's motorbike territory, but I cycled around it.
Wow. And is that with a club?
Yeah, well, I was in a couple of clubs. I was in a local cycling club, and then I joined another club. But I mean, I suppose it was before I was driving a car. So I would have went to race meetings. They could have been 40, 50 miles away. So I would have got a train early in
Yeah.
the morning up to a place called Ballymena, which would have been about half an hour, 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then cycled up to the clubhouse, and then we all get in a van and a minibus and head off to the races.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, it was young. And then the old curse of, we call it the petrol and perfume. You get your driving test, and then you get your first girlfriend. And that's the 80 to 100 miles cycles out the window at the weekends.
Yeah.
You're away doing other things.
Changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It is. What in your senior school, like this is probably 11 to 16.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Not like it? Did you get on with it? Was you any good? Did you?
Yeah, I just got on with it. I mean, left school the normal time. I kind of went straight into work.
Okay.
You could stay on for an extra 2 years and
Yeah.
do the A level, O level, and
Yeah.
But I just don't think that was for me, so I just went straight out to work. I've been working since, oh goodness, I was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
I think the first job, because of the cycling, the first job I got was in a bicycle shop. And and it was quite a big bicycle shop. So you were building bikes and doing the odd repair, but
Yeah.
Christmas time was hectic,
Yeah, I'm sure.
you know. But it was enjoyable, and I suppose I moved on from that part of my career. Then mainly my part of my career has been in the steel industry.
Yeah.
I had a 12, 15-year period where I was in the hospitality trade, like bar and then restaurant.
Okay.
Um, so it's kind of been steel, selling
Yeah.
steel, then
Yeah.
manufacturing steel, then painting and powder coating steel, and then restaurant trade, and then back to steel briefly. And then just to now.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to so you left school 15, 16. You didn't mind school. What was
No, I didn't mind school.
yeah, what was working opportunity like for people? Did you take any notice of it, or was it pretty easy just to come out of school and get a job at those, where you were, or was it
Yeah, I think
hard
for
or
me it was,
tough?
yeah, because I mean, I was willing to work and I wasn't
Yeah.
shy of going. I mean, I never went for a job interview until I was like 30 something.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was word of mouth.
Yeah.
Meet somebody, go and see. I mean, I've worked weekends in chip shops.
Yeah.
I've went to work and then went fabricating at night, building gates and railings and
Oh,
bridges, and
wow.
a friend's place or a guy I knew. He was like, "Oh, I worked in a bar, restaurant, and my days off, I would have helped my buddy build skate ramps."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm quite handy that kind of way.
Yeah. So you had a massive working ethic. Do you think you got that from your dad or any?
Yeah, mother and father. I
Yeah.
mean, we didn't have anything handed to us.
Yeah.
We worked, working class, but anything I had, I worked for it.
Yeah.
I need this, so I'm going to save up for this and buy this car. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds very similar to, I was born in the 60s, mid 60s. So very similar timeline.
Yeah,
Obviously
mid
in a different
70s for
place.
me. But
Yeah.
I kind of, you've got kids and all coming up. I don't know. I fear for the kids going for jobs now, and there's like 50 to 100 applicants for something simple.
Mm.
Where in my day it was like, do you need a hand, or do you want me to come
Yeah.
up? I need you. No bother. Verbal
Yeah.
contract,
Yeah.
cash in hand,
Yeah.
brown envelope with your wages in it at the end of the week.
Yeah. Very
But
different,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's all changing now.
So getting back to those wonderful days of you getting a car and then girls come along. What was social life like?
Yeah, social life was okay.
Yep.
Uh,
Plenty to do.
Plenty to do. I mean, we used to go out the odd weekend. I suppose in my 20s, me and my friend went to California, but we would have played computer games a lot. We bit nerdy. So we wouldn't have went out boozing it up.
Yeah.
4 or 5 of us would have got some game. God.
Yeah. So what was you
Sega,
playing?
Xbox, PlayStation,
Yeah.
and whatnot, just through the generations of consoles.
Sure.
And yeah,
What
out
sort
the
of
odd time.
and was you still obviously you're still living at home, I presume?
I was living at home. I was living at home up until bought my first house when I was 24.
Yeah, wow.
So the whole investment thing, this is a late add-on, but I mean, I'm in my third property.
Yeah.
So I got on the property ladder pretty quickly.
Early, yeah.
The middle property, I didn't, I didn't make any money on it. Me and Mrs. Shaney lived in it for 10 years, but it was 2010. It was that financial crisis.
Yeah.
So 10 years living in it, didn't make any money, where the house prior to that trebled in 4 years I lived in it.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. And what do you know, with your first house, when you was 24, was that relatively easy to get on the ladder then?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I think there was a first time buyer incentive, as in you didn't need a deposit.
Yeah, 100% mortgage.
100%. Yeah, so you just paid your mortgage.
Yeah,
I mean, looking back on it now, goodness, it was 56,000.
yeah.
4 bedroom, 3 story street house.
It's mad, isn't it?
And your mortgage was like, because at the time, CPM, it was, do I rent somewhere for £300 a month
Yeah,
or take a mortgage out for the same money? So that was the way.
yeah,
It was silly to rent. It was made sense to
yeah.
purchase and have, you know, a house for collateral if you needed anything.
Yeah, I don't think, um, I think I was 22 when I got my first house. It cost me 25,000. Um, and I don't think at those times, and it sounds like for you as well, no one even thought about renting. You either went into a council house, a council supplied house, or you bought a house.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up, my mother and father, I grew up in about 12 homes.
Mhm.
Because mother and father would have bought a house, flipped it, lived in it for a year or two, done it up, and then flipped it on and moved up the ladder.
Yeah,
Because, that time, well, I mean, we went through the Thatcher government.
yeah,
God, well, you can, I don't have to tell you about that, but
yeah,
you buy a house, live in it 3, 4 years, oh, it's worth this, sell it, buy somewhere else that's needs a bit of work.
hmm,
So my first house was, yeah, structurally was fine, roof,
yeah.
everything.
That's it.
It just needed a good, 3 stories of redecorating,
Yeah.
top to bottom. And yeah,
How things have
loved it.
changed.
Yeah. And
Cool. So you got your first house. Was that on your own, or was that with a partner at the time? Or
it was me and my brother
oh, you
uh,
and your brother. Okay.
went halfers on it.
Yeah.
And after the 5, 6 years we lived in it, had bought another house with his girlfriend. And then I bought a place with
Yeah.
Mrs. Shiney. And me and Mrs. Shiney lived there for about 10 years. And I'm
Nice.
living here now since 2018.
Very good.
And yeah, loving it.
So what was life? Take me through your 20s, mate. You got a house. Was you still working at the bike shop?
No, no, no. That's 20s. I was working in there's a local bar restaurant kind of
Yeah.
place around here.
Yeah.
And, 3, 4 bars, 3, 4 restaurants. So I was kind of started in the bar, and then I worked in more on the food side of it.
Yeah.
Started meeting and greeting at the door,
Yeah.
maitre d' or whatever you want to call it.
God knows.
But it was pretty busy. Food was good. Food was fresh. And it was first come, first serve. So you used to do about 350 plates a night.
Yeah.
Between the restaurants, there was about 2,000 plates a night, and others, like four establishments, all in a harbour area. So you
Wow.
open the doors at 5, you fill the restaurant, you start at a page, name, CPM,
Yeah.
sit in the bar, have a drink, and I'll come and get you. So then you just
That's
went
it.
down the list, and then usually by about 7 o'clock, people were coming in,
Yeah.
and you were like, we're closed.
Yeah.
So there was people coming in at like 6:30, 7, and we're willing to wait until 9 o'clock, 9:30 for a table.
Gee whiz, man.
You give them a ticket, and then you call their ticket number.
Yeah.
Kind of wine bar style, that way.
That's it. Yeah. So you was doing that. Was you doing anything else?
No, just doing that working hard at that.
Okay.
Because you'd be in the morning doing stock, and
Yeah.
you were kind of a manager, so you were doing stock and stock taking, and
Okay.
you were in cahoots with the chefs. They were ordering, keeping their end in charge. But I also had to learn menus. So
Yeah.
a customer would come to me and go, "What's in that pepper? How do you make that pepper sauce?" And I would have
Yeah.
to explain how the pepper sauce is made,
Yeah.
or the red wine jus, and how was the coffee lamb shank done, and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm quite qualified chef
Yeah.
through information.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I didn't go to culinary school, but I kind of did.
Yeah. You did it on the ground.
Did it on the ground, yeah.
Yeah. It's the best way.
Experience.
best way. So did you when you was doing that, did you go in at a certain level, or did you just work your way up, or did you have any ambitions in that sort of industry? Or
No, I just worked my way up. I mean, I was in after I left school in my 20s. I went and worked in an engineering company in the town I was brought up in, and they would have made parts for lorries like Fruhoff and Montrecon. If you watched, I could take you around the tail end of a lorry and like a
yeah,
trailer, and I made that and folded that. So I was on a press brake,
okay.
and then we had another contract that was generator bases. And funny, later on in my career, I ended up powder coating generator bases, but I would have welded the tanks that the generator sits on. Now, this is a big generator that would power a school or a hospital.
Yeah.
Um, and then I moved down here and I worked in a yacht club. My brother worked in the bars, so I worked along with him. And then me and a friend went to California for 3 months.
What
I
sort
had
of age was that, mate?
22, it was about 22.
Okay. So you
We
was
had a good,
grinding
very close
away.
friend who had died of leukemia. He struggled with leukemia, and we just thought, we'll go over. My friend had a couple of family members out in California, so we went out there and stayed for about 3 months. Had a
What
wee
was
all the
that?
time.
What was that like?
1997, yeah, it was quite good. We were 22, so we were legal to have a drink, which was
Yeah.
good. I mean, I don't think it would be any fun out there
No.
if you weren't allowed to have a drink, especially as a young adult.
Yeah.
And yeah, seen a bit of California, came back, and then went sort of fully into the bar work, working in bars, and just working away from the bar, then into because it's kind of like a bar restaurant, and then worked my way into the restaurant,
Yeah.
and running things in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I got to the palace and met the Queen through that.
Oh
So there
God,
was
what's that
there,
story?
well, I mean, in Northern Ireland, I don't know. It was like we had the British Airways Awards were like hostelry of the year, bar of the year. There'd be like a restaurant of the year, and they do
Oh,
the same thing through sport. So
okay.
the harbour bar that I worked in, it was called won the award for hostelry of the year. So I got an invite to the palace through that.
No way.
Yeah, so up the mall,
At what age?
25
Wow.
tops and tails. Now this is before mobile phones, so I don't. I think my granny was she liked the royalist. She was a very royalist. So the invite I had was like a gilded card with, and I must try and find it.
Yeah,
It's maybe
definitely.
in my parents' house, I think.
Wow. So what was that like? Was that for how does that all work? Is that for a weekend? Is it
No, it
overnight?
was. I mean, it was a lunch. It was like a tops and tails.
Yeah.
So got myself suited. Took a friend over to London.
Hmm.
Stayed in London for a couple of nights. Got a taxi up the Mall into Buckingham Palace, and that's amazing. You kind of walk in, all the paintings, like 20 foot by 20 foot of ex family members and humps and horses,
Wow.
and then you walk through to the back room where it opens out onto the garden,
Yes.
and it's kind of like a drinks reception.
Yes.
So Queenie's running around and Princess Anne, and you do you're mingling with people that were there because there was a few people from my area that had won other awards. So you're like, how did you get on? Yeah, we won this, we won that.
Okay.
And, Princess Anne comes round and you bow and courtesy. And
Yeah.
it's quite short, but yeah,
What an experience.
good experience.
Wow. The
I've
first
always liked
person,
Princess Anne. I kind of
the
low key
first per yeah, the
fancy
first person
Princess
I've had
Anne.
on my podcast that's met the Queen.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
just wish I had something like a mobile phone,
yes.
because I wasn't going to go Buckingham Palace, snappy camera.
Yeah.
Now you can be discreet.
Yeah.
But I don't know the protocol even in the palace now with mobile phones.
No, I had no idea.
But
Wow.
yeah, it was a good experience.
What amazing experience at 25. That's
And
crazy.
then, yeah, I mean, it's strange where the world takes you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, definitely. a relatively quiet part of Northern
Northern Ireland.
Ireland, and there you are doing your thing.
The only thing at the palace.
Yeah, and then you end up
So,
at Buckingham
and then you can,
Palace with the
you know,
Queen. Yeah,
she is.
you
I've
got
met
a
her.
you got a proper affiliation there. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Stevie
That's
calls her the boss.
yes, Stephen. Yeah, that's great. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant, mate. Oh, that's really cool at the age of 25. So you've been to see the Queen, you met the Queen and some of the royal, you've been in Buckingham Palace, which must have been an amazing experience anyway.
Very, very treasured
Um,
experience.
mm. Do they take you around much, or is it just you're
No,
here
you
for,
just kind of walk in through the gates and straight up and through the hall. There's a big, massive hallway. You turn
mm,
left, and you can imagine it's massive and high. And you head out to the back room. It opens up onto the gardens. We didn't go into the gardens that day. Now it was just in the room before the gardens.
yeah,
But you could see out. They're massive. I mean, that's where they have their like 1,000 people garden party kind of deal, as you know. But that was a short. I'm not saying it was short and sweet, but it was long enough to be cherished. And yeah,
excellent memory. One something that yeah, not many people experience. That's really cool. Really
but the
cool.
award night in Belfast was good because we had contacts through the alcohol and restaurant industries. That
Okay.
we were very friendly with one of the Guinness reps
Okay.
because we sold a lot of booze,
Yeah.
and we had a good night out in Belfast with the guys from both Guinness and the brewery that would sold powers the drinks.
Wow.
And then to top it off, you were like, oh, because you won that, here's an invite to the palace.
Mm.
So
And
throughout the year, there'll be receptions for sport or agriculture or different things. So
yes.
yeah, well, hospitality was the one I went to.
Ah, sounds like you've had quite an exciting 20s
Mm-hmm.
for sure. So what was next on the agenda after that?
After that, I got a job. I worked in a powder coating company.
Is that what sort of age were you then?
I must have been about 27, 28.
Okay. And did you did did you move out of the industry because you just burnt yourself out, had enough of it,
Well,
wanted to move on, or
sort of, because Mrs. Shiny came on the scene,
okay.
and we were ships passing in the night. So I was coming in about 1 a.m. after work.
Yeah.
And at that time, it just was better if I got on the same clock,
Yeah.
time clock, because I would have had 2 days off through the week. I had to work all weekend because that's when my busy time was.
Sure, yeah.
And Mrs. Shiny got weekends off, and it was just hard. It was just, I wanted to, and I got a job again, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Knew a fella, yeah, come up and we'll see how you get on. And it was powder coating. It's kind of like spray paint, but you use powder, static electric.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, I
You
know.
bake it in an oven thermoset.
Yeah.
So I worked there for about 15 years, which was good.
And was that for a specific product, or was it just a general, you powder coated anything if the customer wanted it?
Well, yeah, it kind of started like that. And then
Mhm.
the company grew. So
Okay.
I was over the moon because Shiny, Mrs. Shiny, and I were on the same clock. We could take summer holidays. I got 2 weeks holidays.
Sure.
Miss Shiny gets a lot of holidays from her job.
Mhm.
So I could take 2 weeks at Christmas off. I'd done a 4-day week. I got off Thursday. I worked Thursday. I was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I got proper holidays. So we'd done a lot of traveling.
Oh, nice.
I've traveled a lot of the world.
Have you?
Yeah, a lot
Where
of
you been?
traveling.
Where you been? If you can
It's far
say.
away Thailand. I
Sorry?
mean, if you see some of my early videos, if you look back through my early videos, there's always a little Lonely Planet book in the corner.
Okay.
So Europe a lot,
Nice.
Sicily, Italy, Tuscany. I drove through Tuscany, driven a car through Palermo in Sicily. Crazy.
Wow.
Uh, Thailand, Spain, Canada.
And this was all sort of what ages, mate?
Oh,
This
this
was,
is all from my sort of mid 20s up to me, I suppose, 15 years. Like Mr.
Okay.
Shamey and I are together 21 years.
Okay. Where's your
21
favorite?
years this Halloween. We met in Halloween.
Wow. Where's your favorite place you've been?
Oh,
What really stands out?
do you know, we went to Switzerland. We'd like to go away for New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
And although it was cold and snowy, we went up to, got a train up to Stad,
Yeah.
which we didn't ski, but it's very posh up there. It's where all the helicopters and the celebrities stay.
Yeah.
Freezing, but it was definitely nice seeing the mountains. Couple of Christmases, we went to Morocco, Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan of that. So kind of a bit donkey and cart,
Really?
bit third world. You know, there was the Riads and stuff where we stayed was nice, but you know, you could definitely see the
Sure.
snake charmers and
Yeah.
eat the goat's eye. Just a different part of the world.
Yeah.
I do love Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had motorbikes in the past, and I've been to Motor Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I've been in Brno and Prague and Barcelona for
Yeah.
motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
But that was me and a couple of boys. That was a boys' trip.
Yeah.
But you're strictly going to the circuit to watch bike racing.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Good old days. What era was that?
I suppose the MotoGP. I can remember going to Brno, which you flew into Prague, and they were Czech crown at the time. The currency rate was, so you got your money changed, and you literally could hardly spend it. Then it was 2005, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the motorbikes were 500cc two strokes.
Yeah.
And then they changed to
was that the
1000cc four strokes.
Is that the Wayne Rainey days?
Wayne Rainey and Gardner and
Mick Doohan, Gardner.
No, they were more.
Kevin Schwantz.
They were more the 80s.
All right. Okay.
But up until the changeover, you had Valentino Rossi and boys like that. But I remember that year because they raced together.
Okay.
So the new bikes, Yamaha had an M1, Honda had an RC 21, but there was also two strokes. So there was 500s and thousands racing in the same category for that year. And I was a big Valentino Rossi fan as well.
Who wouldn't be?
And I mean, I've had Ducatis and Fireblades and R1s and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. You've had a really cool life by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
We'll get on to some other bits that I won't say.
Well, I do enjoy it. I just don't know. I just, not saying I got scared, but there was too many silly things happened on the roads.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, scrambler, field, dirt bike.
Yeah.
And if you fell off or something happened, it was your own fault. But there was just too many, a couple of occasions where cars pulled out of me, and I just thought, no, this, especially at the speeds the road bikes go at.
Yeah.
You know, some of the bikes I had were not to 100 in like 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
So I just had more fun off-roading. Like my brother has got trial bikes.
Yeah.
Like 450 singles, and we would hit, I suppose back then, 10 years ago, we would hit the forests at 5 a.m. when there's nobody about.
Yeah.
For about half an hour, and then. Mm-hmm. But it was more fun. The roads are too dangerous. It's just too sketchy.
Yeah. Did you ever get the opportunity to do the Isle of Man?
It's never appealed to me.
No.
Because I've got the Northwest 200s on my doorstep here.
Okay.
Which is, it's the same as Isle of Man. It's the same guys, but it's a bunch start and it's a 9-mile lap.
All right. Okay.
So they go around. You probably see it in some of my videos, but
oh god, yeah! I remember you saying something about that. I think you posted something, didn't you?
I think one of my early videos, yeah.
You did, yeah. It's just, just remembered it, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just down the road from me. So I'm inside the circuit. So when it happens, so you have a practice day and a race day Thursday night, and then a race day on Saturday. So there's 3 nights that you're kind of stuck in your house.
Yeah,
because the roads around you are blocked, shut.
Yeah. Brave guys, aren't they? Brave guys.
Oh, brave. And every year, I've ridden bikes, but every year you go to the roadside and you're like, they're getting faster.
Yeah.
Like they go through the speed trap just at the back of my house. They were doing 214 miles per hour this year at the speed trap.
That's scary.
Yeah.
On roads.
Public roads.
It's mad.
5 o'clock, whistle blows, cars on them again.
Mad.
Oh, it's crazy.
Brave people. Brave people. Wow. So from 27, you got into powder coating for a company.
Yeah, the company I worked for would of people would come in with like things to powder coat. Like an engineer would have made a set of gates or rails, and we would have sent them away to galvanize, and then got them back from the galvanizers and powder coated them.
Yeah.
And then charged them for the powder coating and galvanizing. The galvanizing was done from a third party.
Yeah.
And then we would do work for quarry shaker decks and quarry machinery.
Mm-hmm.
There was a company. Now, the way it happened, this is pre-broadband, so the internet was out, dial-up, and then the broadband came out. So, like a lot of companies went full assembly. So it started off, lorry load came. My boss would have got a deal for the job for powder coating certain parts. There might have been a bribe. There may not have been a bribe.
Mm-hmm.
Very shrewd businessman. So we took the stuff off the lorry, painted it, or powder coated it, and then sent it back to the customer for the job.
Yeah.
And then a lot of companies, so we've done stuff for buses. So next time we're on a bus, we've done work for Wright Bus, big company in Ballymena here that make buses.
Mm-hmm.
So handrails to bits and pieces. So people were manufacturing a part, sending it to us to powder coat it, and selling it to Wright Bus because they were full assembly, like a car factory. So my boss then bought an engineering company. He started buying the metal, folding it, welding it, painting it, and selling it to the company. So he cut out all the middlemen.
Yeah.
And done very, very, very well.
Yeah. Would do.
Just very, very smart, moved on with the times. And I was chatting to his brother today, actually. But he's very, very shrewd businessman. It was always good to me because I was always hardworking.
Sure.
Drop of a hat, this job's coming in. Can you stay? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do. And I worked to 9, 10 o'clock at night, special jobs. And then I think I left.
How long was you there for? So we're talking about
about 15 years.
Oh, so you must have gone into the late 90s, into the 2000s.
Probably the 2000s.
Okay.
Maybe 2005, 2006.
Okay.
And that's when, as I said, Mr. Price and I mean, that's when I got the proper holidays and weekends and Christmas and things like that. And plus I was getting bonuses.
Okay.
So I had to meet certain targets and get a hefty cash envelope twice a year.
Yeah.
Like has he worked like, you make me money, I'll make you money kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So that was like, I need you here at 6 a.m. We've got X amount of parts to do for Joe Blogs.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, fine, I'm up for that. And we would knock out maybe 3, 4, 5, 12-hour shifts. Sometimes it would move on to an all-nighter and we would ring the chip shop and get chips delivered up to us. We would get what we needed done.
Yeah.
For us to get ahead on that game, that's the way we worked. Undercutting boys.
Yeah.
And getting quality work out.
Yeah.
And I suppose that run its time. And then I went to... This is where things start to get a bit sketchy because we're going to get to my health. Yeah,
sure. Just before you get there, though, bud. So just to get me a timeline. So you, let's sort of pick. How old are you roughly at the moment? Roughly,
49 last Wednesday.
No, not sorry, not now. Sorry.
Well, the timeline.
The timeline we're talking about, yeah.
I think I left the powder coating company when I was about. Must have been 42.
42, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the time is at the powder coating company, just to give me and the people watching a bit of an idea. of the area where you lived? Was work quite work money, all sort of what I call living in that bubble where it's not sort of maybe the right word is affluent, where there's plenty of jobs. The whole area was affluent and money was around, and so people could get on. Is that something that would
Yeah, I
you
would kind of
would
say so. I mean, you have to
yeah,
picture. I don't know what your geography is like. So you picture Northern Ireland. It's quite a bit large.
sure.
So from the coast, the company was just outside, but it was 20 minutes away. It was what, 18 miles. So 25 minutes to a car journey to work back.
Okay.
Uh, and there was work there. If obviously, if you want work,
Yeah,
I'm a believer in if you sit and boo-hoo, it's not going to do you any good.
yeah,
Where I always have been proud of my work ethic
sure. Sounds it.
and putting the hours in. And I heard a good turn of phrase which I would use, and it's kind of if you want to buy something without looking at the price, work without looking at the clock.
Well, great, great.
Well, the
That's
latter part of
brilliant.
that was true for me.
Yeah, but that's brilliant. It's so poignant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is so poignant.
So I've always stuck to that.
So in that timeline, obviously, I presume you'd sold your first house, you got your second house. You obviously with Mrs. Shiny.
Yeah, and then
You're traveling around. Sorry.
yeah. So and then 2018, we bought this house where I live at the minute.
Okay.
But I had left the powder coating company and went to work in a steel yard where I kind of started my career. It was an old friend that I went to school with.
All right. Okay.
And I worked there I worked there when I was 13 and 14
Okay.
to his father. Uh, and I was there for about a year and a half. Now, this is where my memory starts to get a bit funny.
Okay. That's fine.
He let me go. I got the sack from there.
What, the steel place?
The steel yard, yes. So we're selling box section pipe to farmers and engineering companies and things like that.
Okay.
It wasn't glamorous. It was quite a big steel shed. Some guy came in and goes, "Give me 20 lengths of inch box or 20 lengths of pipe and
Yeah.
RSJs for builders." So you'd have to go out in the yard, cut them with oxyacetylene,
Yeah.
load them on a lorry or a van, and it was hard work, dirty hard work.
Yeah.
But I'd lost that job. Still unbeknown to me, it was like, "Oh, we're not needed," and I was kind of in shock.
Okay.
And then I got a job back in the food industry, the restaurant I worked to, because the kids that the guy I worked to, they're running it now.
Okay.
And they were like, "Yeah, where do you want to work?" And at this stage, I was getting a bit funny. I was like, people were annoying me. It wasn't temper, I was just changing. And I just said, "Put me in the prep kitchen, just away from the public." I couldn't. I mean, it might have been sharp as something would have happened, maybe in the steel company. Somebody would be looking something silly. And I was never bad language, but I would be like, seriously,
Snappy.
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 And even my golf mates I was playing with golf, I was always slow. My movements had slowed up.
Okay.
And people were like, "He's on drugs." Something's Mrs. Shiny searched the house, thought I was on drugs.
Really?
Yeah. And I had been, so I got the job in the prep kitchen, and that lasted 3-4 months. Again, it was like I had to let me go because the girl that I knew very well had said to Lynn and I, "Look, he's very slow. He's not keeping up pace. Obviously you're prepping a kitchen for thousands of food. I have to chop something or cook. It just didn't work out. And this is
Yeah.
really, really weird on arm bells for me because my work ethic.
Yeah.
And it turned, it turned out to be a brain tumor.
Okay.
I think we've mentioned it before and things like
Yeah.
that. But that was the process of the build up. And even playing golf, my buddies were like, "Where is Shiny?" And I'm like half a fairway back,
Really?
oblivious. Just they're like, "Come on,
Very
hurry up."
lethargic. Very.
Yeah, and I mean, I went to two doctors. I took bloods and I lost weight. I lost about 5 kilos in weight,
Wow.
and they said, "Oh, you're depressed." So they put me on antidepressants,
Jeez, man.
and then I I've sort of fallen over, like I'd have been standing, and next thing I knew, I was on my arse. And I had a seizure because I told Mrs. Shiny I had bit my tongue and I'm all sore. I feel like I've been hit by a bus.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember anything, obviously, with seizures.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the doctor, and Miss Shane's like, he's had a seizure. Right, right, right. We'll do bloods. Meanwhile, we'll just put his medication up for depression, which I wasn't depressed.
No,
I had a thing in my head the size of a softball.
exactly.
So it wasn't until February 2019, my father was in the house with me here, and I went to fall and stumble. And he caught me and he says, that's not depression. We're for casualty in the morning. So he came down at 7 a.m. the next morning, got me out of bed.
Yeah.
And went and got a scan. That's all I needed. I went and got a scan, and it's like, right, you're not getting home for a couple of weeks.
Right. So
and that's that part of the journey, I suppose.
Yeah, that process, how long was that? Was that a year, 2 years?
I suppose from leaving the powder coating to working on the steel yard, it's all very vague.
Yeah.
EPM, it's a bit snapshotty. I can't remember things in detail.
Sure, yeah. Not surprising, mate.
Really, really can't. It's easy for me to say that, but I mean, I really can't remember.
Yeah.
Like even Mr. Shenny, when I'd be watching TV, to go, "You've seen that? We've seen that movie. I haven't. Like, I really want to see this.
Yeah.
You've seen it. We've seen it."
Yeah.
And she'll tell me what's happened in it, and I'm like, "I've not seen it."
Yeah.
So I watch it myself, and it's kind of like when I was powder coating, I would listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of audiobooks, because I'm in a paint booth.
Yeah.
For 2-3 hours at a time. Stuff coming past a meter a minute, and you're spraying parts.
Yeah.
So I plowed through audiobooks. And what I'm doing now is going through my library and listening to them again.
Sure, yeah.
And they're like new to me. I'm like, this is brilliant. But
so good old dad in 2019 takes you to hospital, you have a scan, and they go,
yeah.
Guess what, Mr. Shiny, Mrs. Shiny?
Yeah, it was quite scary for a week or two, because you get a CT scan, and me and my dad are sitting, and they call you into a little room. And it's me, my dad, doctor, and there's two girls that are student nurses.
Yeah.
Standing on the corner of the room. And even he says to me to this day, he goes, that didn't feel right. You know, so he turns around then and said, look, we've done your scans and we found a brain tumor.
Yeah.
You know, so shock, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's this period of, we need to find out what it is.
Okay.
So that takes the operation. There's no biopsy. That takes the operation to get it out.
Yeah.
And then part of it goes for a biopsy. So you've got that operation, which you're recovering from, and then you've got like a 2-week period where you have to hear, what is this? Is it cancer? Is it benign? It turned out it was a grade 1 meningioma, benign.
Okay.
But it was big enough, if it would have went on any longer, that it could have been trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I send you pictures?
You did, buddy. Yeah, I've seen the
when
pictures.
When you sent me Bitcoin, I was like, yeah, thank you very much. And here's what I've been through. Thank you.
I have seen the pictures, and they're unbelievable. Unbelievable. And yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. But wow, so they discovered this, and how quick did they act for an operation?
I went to my local Causeway Hospital. I stayed there one night. Now, Mrs. Shiny's cousin is a head consultant in the hospital, so I was well looked after. I got a room.
Cool.
And then I got an ambulance up to Belfast the next day. So Mr. Shiny and I had our Valentine's dinner that I had bought a Valentine's card for, and kind of had organised a dinner in the house.
Right.
But went to hospital in the morning, and that was me. So she came to the hospital, and we had our Valentine's dinner in the hospital.
Ah, cool. She sounds like a really, 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 really lovely lady.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair. I wouldn't be here without the support from family and Mrs. Shiney, especially.
Yeah, I can.
You know, if I was a single man living by myself,
Yeah,
God, the outlook would be very different.
yeah, I'm sure.
And then it was straight to Belfast, 2-3 days, and then straight for an operation, craniotomy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that takes a week or two to get over.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I've seen the pictures, mate. Um, uh, do you remember much of that process, or is it all sort of a bit vague?
Do you know, strange like CPM, I do, because I mean, I was, apart from the lead up to it, where everybody was saying there's something wrong with him.
Yeah,
Mrs. Shiney searching the house for drugs.
yeah,
Mum and Dad coming down. I mean, there was 6 months I wasn't working. Mum and Dad was coming down and taking me out for dinner once a week,
sure.
and they were even saying, "Oh, he's depressed. You know, these depression tablets he's on."
Mm-hmm.
The doctors just kept upping them and upping them until either I was out of my mind on them,
Mm-hmm.
or the tumor was taking full effect.
Yeah,
Both, I think.
yeah,
So I wasn't sleeping at night. I was hearing noises in the room, corner. Mrs. Shiney was actually scared for, I could have been going psychotic. Think of all the thoughts.
yeah.
So my mum and Mrs. Shiney was in the hospital in Belfast when I was in the recovery. Like, they waited nearly the whole time, and it was a 10-hour operation, and
Wow.
they were about, and it was like, yeah, he's out of operation, all went well. He's down in the recovery ward. So they came down to see me, and they even said straight away, "You look different."
Really?
And I was like, "I feel different." So from I gave the tumor a name. I called it Jim.
Yeah.
To some way decompartmentalize it.
Sure, yeah.
And I instantly felt, I feel amazing. The recovery was tough. I had to learn to walk again, and
Yeah.
the OTs, the therapist, had to learn to write and talk. I had a stutter for a long time. I was a bit conscious of that. I mean, just my programming, I learned that everything you do works through your brain's the main component, and it had a lot of damage done because of the size of the tumor. It was like a quarter of the size of my head. So that was hard. That was tough. A good 4 or 5 months of rehab at home, and people coming around. I wasn't allowed to cook or turn on ovens. I was kind of like treated like a child for a few months.
Sure, yeah.
Every day, my sister would have came around, my dad would have came around, my other brother came around. He was the wine bar's doing £5 lunches. Way to the wine bar. That's the way he worked.
Yeah.
My sister would have brought around soup. My other brother would have brought around things like that. But yeah, I finally got my feet in. I suppose here I am. Now, the strange thing, driving wise, with surgery, you can't drive for a year.
Yep.
And then they put me on Keppra because I had seizures, which is an anti-seizure medication.
Okay.
So my consultants were like, I was like, look, 6 months later, I'm like, I'm feeling grand. When do I get my license back?
Yeah.
And Mr. Shiny kind of knew that I wouldn't be driving.
Right, okay.
He was like, okay, go along with it. So even if you come off Keppra, you have to be off it 6 months, seizure free, before you get your license back.
Yeah.
So I kind of ramped it into like the year ban. Then COVID hit.
Of course.
And nobody could drive.
Yeah.
All driving license. So I was going to get me. So basically, 2.5, 3 years later, I'd done an assessment, which is basically a mini driving test.
Yeah.
You drive around with a guy. You should have a chat, and it's like a low-key driving test. So I got my license back, and it was under a 3-year medical.
Mm-hmm.
So every 3 years I could get it renewed.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was a couple of bits of regrowth on my brain, so I had to go for 6 weeks radiotherapy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, yeah.
And then I took seizures 10 days after my radiotherapy, which were really, really bad, hospitalised seizures.
Wow.
So I had to hand my licence back over again. So short story shorter, it was about 5 years before I had driven a car.
Wow.
But the happiest part is that I got my licence back in February. So I'm on the road, but up until then it was bicycles and buses for a long time.
Yeah. Back to bicycles. What was
Back
your
to the bicycles, yeah.
back to
Kind of
what?
love the bikes. I
Yeah.
mean,
What was your mindset like, Shiny? Did you? I mean, obviously you've got a massive work ethic, which is a big driver mindset wise. It sounds like you've been very sort of driven, and you know what you've wanted. You've obviously had a good mindset to just go out there and work. I presume just doing what you need to do to get where you want to go. Did that help you in any way during your recovery, or was it totally different? Did you?
no, it did, yeah. It definitely did.
It did, yeah,
Almost the way I say stubborn, like, you can't do that.
yeah,
Yes, I can.
yeah,
And, for a long time with Mrs. Shiny, the first words out was don't wait, stop,
yeah,
hold on, stop, wait a minute. I'm like, but I knew from being in the hospital that there was no the consultants and the neurosurgeons and there was no I broke my arm at 6 weeks because I was like, when can I get back to work?
yeah,
Delusional, really, to be honest.
yeah,
Going, whoa. And there was never an answer. There was, everybody's different. And
yeah,
there was never a year, a couple of years.
sure,
I just worked on me physically, I always eat well and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I just realized that my sequencing and brain wasn't the way it was.
yeah,
I remember coming home once, 6, 8 months down the line, and finding an old pair of trousers where I had some engineering drawings or CAD drawings in it,
mm,
and was like, so somebody would say, I want a picture if I want a 15-degree angle, and I would work out the metal you need it and the sheets of tin I'd need
sure,
and fabricate that for him.
yeah,
And I was at a loss. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't
mm.
understand this. And that was hard,
I'm sure,
you know. So it came as a shock when I'm physically good. I'm standing on my feet and walking to get a bus. And
yeah,
it was hard at the start because I would have got on a wrong bus or I would have got lost and things like that, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
I had to ring Lynn and say, can you come and get me here? Because I would try and go and do my own thing independently.
yeah,
I would go, I'm in Korea, I've got a wrong bus here somewhere. I can't figure this out,
yeah.
which was hard.
Oh God, yeah, I can imagine.
And still is a bit hard. I mean, I suppose I'm not really working now.
Yeah,
Man about house,
yeah,
dog sitter.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think my work ethic and my stubbornness has got me to where I am. Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of family love by the looks of it.
Oh, totally, 100%. Like 90% of it's all support.
Yeah, that's really sort of. Although you haven't mentioned the family loads, it's very evident listening the support you've had and the love you've had, and that ended up with you getting married, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose after 2022, I had radiotherapy for 6 weeks,
Yeah,
and I had to get on a train, hour and a half, up to the cancer centre where the treatment was.
yeah.
And they fit you with a mask and clamp you to a table. And you're on the machine. It's called a linear accelerator.
Is that the mask you showed me the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's clamped to the table. And you can't move a millimetre. And you're on the machine about 5 minutes. It burrs around. And okay, see you tomorrow. See you back out. Now, the handy thing was the bus station was the train station was right at the hospital.
yep,
So you went back out, train hour and a half home, and then repeat for 30 times, 6 weeks it took. You get weekends off now, to be fair.
How long ago was that?
That was 2022,
Yeah,
July. I finished
yeah.
my treatment on round about my birthday in 2022.
And you rung the bell.
Rung the bell, no hair,
Yeah,
bald.
seen the pictures, dude. It's
I grew
amazing.
back. There's a little bit of baldness where they
Yeah,
treated me, but I'm not worried about it.
yeah,
But so 2022, right up until even last year, I was feeling really fatigued and tired.
yeah,
Like I could have slept on my feet.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I
I mean,
always
I play a little
remember.
bit of golf.
Yeah.
Even last Christmas, I was driving around playing golf in a buggy because
Wow.
the club have been very good. The golf club have been like, look, anytime you need a buggy, just come and get one.
Oh, nice.
So they looked after me.
More support.
Yeah. I mean, I have my doctor's notes and stuff to say, yeah, you can, you need a buggy kind of thing. And they were good. They were like, yeah, because the club I'm at, there's tons of them.
Yeah.
And they were very good. The pros and the stuff were like, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And that was good. That helped me getting out and about with my mates and seeing four ball again and playing a bit of golf. Started off
Oh,
playing 7 holes and started off just cruising around and having a few putts. And,
yeah.
I kind of knew my own limits. I found out my own limits, obviously
Sure.
with my stubbornness. So I'll do this, I'll do that. And then figuring out, no,
Yeah.
I can't.
I'll be one thing. I'm not sure where this is fitted in, but you said, I'm sure you haven't mentioned it, so hopefully it's okay to mention. You used to do a podcast, didn't you?
Yeah, that was about 2010.
Was it? What was all that
Yeah.
about?
Well, a friend of mine, and we had a group of friends, and one of my friends moved to Canada. Somebody else moved somewhere else. And my other friend, we'll call him, well, I was Frank Franklin on the podcast. He was Fred Frederick. So we just done this podcast that it was kind of like a local bits about town. Got a
Hmm.
few people on,
Hmm.
read a few funny stories. And it was kind of good for the ones that were not living
Yeah.
at home anymore. They were to have a listen. And that's just the way it was, It was just a
Yeah.
thing we'd done for a couple of years. It was good crack.
Was that on YouTube?
It's on Spotify and Apple. No, it wasn't a visual. It was more Spotify, iTunes, and
Okay.
SoundCloud. The wherever you get your podcasts at.
Is it still out there?
Well, it's there. It's in the ether. Anything you do nowadays is in the ether.
Yeah. What was
But
it called?
it was called the Portcast.
The Port Calf.
Portcast was in like a podcast. But
Oh, the podcast. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
the
Sorry.
Portcast, Portcast.
All right. Okay.
But it's audible. So we had, microphones in not a studio. He had a loft, and we
Sure.
basically drank beer. And I
Right.
suppose that time we were doing it, that was when I had my tumour. I didn't find out until
Yes.
kind of stopped doing it until the tumour was diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good fun. Once every couple of weeks.
Ooh. So, sorry, I just thought I'd slide that in because I remember you spoke about it and I thought, oh, we didn't talk about that bit.
Yeah.
So I always remember watching some of your first videos, and I thought at the time, okay, what is it about the way you was talking at the time? And it wasn't quite as fluent. And then I got to know you, and then it all become very clear what you was going through.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting for me now because listening to you now on this podcast is nothing like that was 2 years ago.
No, definitely not.
It's amazing the transformation that you've gone through just from what I've known you. So God knows what it must be like for your family and your wife. It's
Yeah.
and Dorian there.
There she is.
Yeah, bless her. Bless her, bless her, bless her. They're great
But
therapy, aren't they?
they are definitely. I mean, Miss Shane and I, we don't have any kids. It's just a fur baby. So
Yeah.
no, I mean, I've had to work hard on. I mean, my mental state. I hate saying that I was diagnosed with depression and I was on depression tablets because it wasn't.
Sure.
I'm always upbeat and
Yeah.
let's go get it and positive about things in life.
Yeah.
But I've even found from knowing me, even my first videos, I've worked hard on
the
mental side of the game and things like that.
100%. And you got married, was it last year or the year before?
No, we're getting married. Getting married in 3 weeks.
What? Because you won a competition, didn't you?
We won a competition. There's a social media group here called Belfast Live. It's kind of like an online thing, and they done a competition. So the prize was...
I voted for you.
Yeah, everybody voted. So the prize was the event, which is the sheddings. It's part of the Glenarth Castle, like outdoor, indoor, stretch tent, cottagey, river.
Yeah.
Food for 80 guests and table settings. Now, still have to add another 40 guests to that.
Yeah.
Cake,
Wow.
dresses, and all the rest of it. But it's kind of half a wedding. So I went to the public vote when I put the voting videos out, and there was 10 couples to the final, and there was 12,000 votes. And Mrs. Shiny and I got 6,000 votes.
Wow. That's cool.
So that's happening in 3 weeks' time.
3 weeks' time?
Yeah, 10th of August.
Do we get a shiny wedding video?
Well, you might, don't you never know.
Hey. 3 weeks.
But it was just good news because I had a couple of good scan results. Started feeling really good, and it was kind of like, let's have a party. And why did we not get married?
Yeah.
Invite everybody, you know. So yeah, that's happening.
Wicked.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, dude, as far as your health and what you've gone through now, is that it? Is that over, or do you have to go through a regular check-in system over a time period, or what do you have to do?
I'm on a high dose of seizure medication.
Yeah.
And I get MRI scanned once a year.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of good scans that were nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Especially after 2022 with the 6 weeks of radiotherapy.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. See you next year. And the next one's, all looks good. See you next year. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a scan in April there, and that was good news. So nothing changed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people have that grade 1 meningioma. It's quite common in older ladies, to be funny. And some people have it and they call it a watch and wait or wait and watch. So they keep an eye on it. So it's small. Okay. And then they start doing something if it starts growing.
Yeah.
But mine wasn't diagnosed till it was about a quarter of the size of my skull.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, I'm pleased just to be MRI once a year.
Yeah, definitely.
Magic. Yeah.
Magic.
And my videos, I don't edit. I just do it on my phone. They're short.
Yeah.
I might make mistakes or do something. Like, I mean, that's just the way my brain works. And if you see any mistakes in my videos, that's why it is.
I'll be honest with you. I obviously I've seen the difference, but I know the story. Yeah. But no, I think if it's now just unbelievable, really cool. Which brings me on to precious metals, gold, silver. I know you do Bitcoin as well. How did all this come about in your life, dude? And obviously, I presume this has been probably the last 2 or 3 years, or has it been something around you for a long time?
I suppose it was around when I was in recovery from radiotherapy. I was tired and in the house a lot and going down rabbit holes, as you do.
The dreaded
I'm
rabbit
watching
holes.
the likes of Backyard Bullion, 365.
Okay.
And I had money, which was always cash below the bed kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, this is something that I could get into. And I bought my first piece of silver, which was the poured Scottish silver bar, but I wanted it hallmarked. So it took about 4 or 5 weeks to come.
Yeah.
And in the business of doing that, I ordered 2 of these gold bars off Atkinson's.
Yeah.
And they came first. So these were the first pieces that landed in the house.
Yeah. Before you go any further with that, was there when you was watching the videos, obviously you had some time and go down rabbit holes, was there anything that you thought, I really want to get into this because of, or was it just, I want to get into this because it's a really cool hobby. It's great, it's a good thing to do. Was there any specific sort of thing that you was thinking of when you was going on that
it was kind of
educational journey?
It was more for later life, like a pension fund.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a normal pension. Because growing up, it was pay the mortgage, work hard, pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
Life's life, you have to
Yeah.
live your life. And it was never a thing that I kind of thought about. It wasn't until I got sick
Yeah.
and thinking,
Yeah.
what about 10 years' time?
Yeah.
Mrs. Shiny wants to retire
Yeah.
10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Get retirement state pension. It's not going to be much. I would just like to put something into that.
Yeah.
That was the first thought. And then you start buying and then you kind of get addicted.
Okay.
But as you've probably heard in my last few videos or last 6 months, I'm buying no more silver.
Apparently.
Gold. Gold is the way to go.
Yeah.
But I'm addicted.
Yeah.
Some piece comes up and you're like, oh, look at that.
Mm.
Cobra's auction. I can't watch Cobra's auctions anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the last Cobra auction I had to send him about 400 or 500 quid.
Not easily.
And that's easy. That's me. That was me only popping on for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm good that way. I know what I have. I know I don't leave myself broke. It's just spare money I have. I don't like it sitting in the bank. I do have money in the bank, but I've got a trading 212 account and I had S&P 500, some shares in that, some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But when uninvested cash, I get 5.2%.
Yeah.
Which is doing something that's
Yeah.
better than doing nothing, sitting in a box below my bed. But
exactly.
It's all about making your money work.
So sorry, you went back, you done a bit of research and then you just sat there and thought, oh, maybe I need to protect myself a little bit. What's the best way to go? And you got into silver and gold, I presume, initially.
Yeah, silver, gold. And then Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And
what did it for
S&P
you?
500.
What did it for you? Why did you, was it silver and gold first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I bought a lot of Bitcoin shortly after that.
Okay. And what was it with the same driver or was that the same reason?
I mean,
something for the future or?
I remember friends ago when Bitcoin first came out, buying Bitcoin to buy other things that,
Yeah.
And it was whatever they wanted. It was like 2 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, God, you know yourself in hindsight. So I just kept an eye on it and watched it and just thought, I'm going to commit to this and put the next amount into Bitcoin and it'll sit there. Like Camel's great but I'm quite comfortable with it at the minute. Once it reaches a certain peak, I'll off ramp it to USDC or USDT.
Yeah.
And then get back on board again.
Yeah.
When it's low.
Yeah.
Not day trading, but there's peaks and troughs when it's high.
Absolutely.
And Camel thinks it's high, then it's
follow the cycles.
One of the cycles. Time to be in and time to be out.
Yeah.
But the good thing about this here, if you DCA, just dollar cost average.
Yeah.
You know yourself. I don't need to preach to you. You can buy. I mean, I remember looking at sovereigns at £350. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we've spoke about it offline every now and then, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's an interesting little process. So, and then with the stocks and shares, similar sort of thought process.
I kind of keep an eye. Yeah, I mean, I've had S&P 500 money in it, and I took it out. I went on holiday.
Yeah,
and then I keep an eye. I'm not doing anything at the markets at the minute. I had about a month ago AI tech. I had a bit of money in AI tech and made money out of it and just pulled out. I just had a limit. I thought that's enough for me. I mean, it will do more in the future, but at the minute, nothing's happening. Recession's happening. I think it's just a time to be out of the market.
Yeah.
Just buy some of this and sit and look at it and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Numbers on a screen.
Yeah.
I don't feel 100%. I'm okay with Bitcoin. It's in a cold wallet. It's there.
Yeah.
Other stuff. I like to keep an eye on it and pick a stop limit and get stopped out, make a profit.
Yeah.
Job done.
Yeah. And would you say that your confidence in your investment? Because it sounds like you've been in it the same sort of period of time as me.
Yeah, roughly about the same time.
Yeah, your confidence has grown the more you've educated yourself, or do you find it's a little bit more pot shot lucky?
No, not.
What's your
Well, I
process?
mean, the stock market, I don't really mess around with it much.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like you've always said, do your research
Yeah.
and don't. I would never tell anybody, like, go and buy this, buy that.
Yeah.
I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
Even the guys on YouTube say, well, this isn't financial advice.
Yeah.
It's just something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoy this. This is what I really enjoy.
Yeah. It's really cool, isn't it?
I have a fund that sometimes I take a punt in the stock,
Yeah.
but it's not very long.
Yeah.
I think I'm more of a cobra. I don't have the patience for a long-term 20-year S&P. If I was younger, you get 6 to 8 to 10% a year.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm 50 next year, so
Yeah.
past that.
Yeah. I'm the same, mate. I'm the same. But the physicality of it is really super cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Is that please tell me that's not a real Bitcoin, gold
No, no,
Bitcoin.
no.
Thank God for
That's
that.
just a fake one.
I'd love a real Bitcoin, but I can't
Well, I mean,
find one.
if you had a real gold coin, it would just be a gold coin. But I would love a real actual Bitcoin, one Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've been looking around. I've been looking
Aye.
around. I've seen a couple
Well,
around, but they're ridiculous money.
and there is gold Bitcoins about, but you're paying for an ounce of gold. They're a bit more expensive. I've seen them. They're what, $2,000.
Oh yeah, easily. And the
But
rest.
then why do you pay a premium on a gold Bitcoin? I bought this for a fiver.
Exactly.
It's just for like you guys talk about for the backdrop.
Yeah.
But 2,000 or would you buy a Britannia or a Krugerrand or a Maple
Yeah.
or buy something close to spot
Yeah. As close to the spot as possible.
or go into a car showroom and pretend to buy a car and just set that on the counter? That's Bitcoin.
I wonder what would happen.
5 Series BMW, 70,000. Just go there, go there.
It's crazy, isn't it? When you actually look at the reality of what that is. It's crazy.
It's
Crazy.
yeah.
And I
When you
think,
look at the history of stuff, but I do keep an eye on AI stocks like
yeah,
superconductors and
yeah,
Dell and especially Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia's gone up crazy money.
it has. Yeah.
Done well with Nvidia,
Yeah.
but it's just going to get more and more. I suppose with self-driving cars and this new chip Nvidia is bringing out. But it's quiet at the minute, so I'm not really worrying about it. I hibernate over the winter time, so
Yeah. Probably best
unless
way, mate.
something big takes off in the markets, I'm out. I've got
Yeah.
funds there to sit on, and
That's it.
I like to buy a bit precious metal now and again. But like I've said, I'm buying no more silver.
Definitely.
And then something like this turns up, and you end up on giving Atkinson's
I
money.
know that's what I put on there. Do you know when I put comments on your post and said, "What's
Yeah.
that?" A nice addition to the stack, although you're not buying silver.
And then I've always liked, like, I bought this off Stephen. I'm like, it's always kind of like that diamond bar.
All right, yeah,
But I'm not buying any more silver.
yeah, I know.
And you end up buying that.
I know it's crazy,
Um,
absolutely crazy. Brilliant, mate. It sounds that's an incredible story you've got. So what? I know you're into your sovereigns. Do you
yeah.
think that you'll probably try and get more sovereigns, or you're not
Oh, definitely
bothered?
will, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few special, not so much, but I want to get like the Golden Jubilee. I've got the Platinum Jubilee. I've got the Diamond Jubilee. The,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to get that. Then I want to sort of get the 5 portraits, the Gillick and the Julie Clark. I'll have them
Oh,
aside. And then once I have them,
what was that? Sorry, Shani.
that's just I bought 2 of these by accident, explaining about my brain tumor. It's a
Oh,
silver.
right.
It's a 15 gram, £20 coin, 999, 15.7 grams.
Okay.
So it's the longest reign, and it's got the
Oh, it's got all
five
the different
portraits.
heads. Yeah. Oh, that's
Now,
cool.
I somehow had ordered two of these, but Stat Collector was asking about it, and I said I'll do a swap. I'll not sell yet, and he sent me this
All right,
Achilles
cool.
Shield half ounce,
Oh, that's nice.
and I gave him one of these.
Yeah, yeah,
It doesn't seem right to be like, "Oh, give me 20 quid for it,"
yeah,
especially in this community. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
It's very friendly, and I've enjoyed the community. I mean, watching videos, and
Yeah.
but you just have to watch out for the clickbait,
Drives me mad.
silver for the moon, and this,
Yeah,
that, and the other, and
yeah.
so I just tend to stick to the likes of you guys and all this, and
Hmm.
new people coming on the scene, give them support and likes and comments.
Yeah. What's your what's your have you got any more goals? Do you set goals for a year, or you just take it as easy, or you just lay back about it all, and as long as you could
Kind of
just
laid back. I kind of have a base goal of like
okay.
maybe three sovereigns a year.
Okay.
So I've kind of hit the three sovereign goal plus.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, if something comes up at a good price or somebody wants to sell me something, I'll do that.
sure.
I kind of want. Do you remember the quarter ounce coronation Charles gold coin?
Oh, is that what they called the cipher coin or
The
something?
cipher gold coin. Yeah, there was a quarter ounce of it.
That's it. Yeah, there
I
was.
kind of like to get it.
I think there was a. Did they have a tenth? Did they have a 1/10 as well? Did they
I
have a
think there was a
tenth?
tenth and a quarter. I'm not sure about
Yeah.
half, but there definitely was an ounce.
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Cobra's probably got them all, I expect. But
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
But I'm happy enough with, I mean, sovereigns.
Hmm.
I just think from here and just buy a sovereign, put it away because I can liquidate them easily. You can go to, we don't have coin stores here.
You don't, or you do?
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you can go to an antique shop maybe, or
Yeah.
somebody will buy a sovereign off you. But
Okay.
jewelers, maybe there's jewelry shops that would have sovereigns below
Okay.
the counter.
Hmm.
But I mean, if you hold a sovereign for a year, a couple of years, you sell it at spot, you're still making money.
Absolutely.
It's just the beauty of gold.
Yeah.
I think that's the way forward.
Yeah. 100%.
What about you? Do you set any goals?
Um, I
I know your
have.
goals change quite often,
They do. They do.
like
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. For me personally, I hit a base stat goal for gold and silver, and I've achieved that. And most of my stuff has gone away now, as you're probably aware from my
Yeah,
videos,
yeah,
because I just didn't want it in the house anymore, because it's just ridiculous. So, and it's just a pressure, it's a worry and a pressure, and I didn't want
yeah,
that anymore. So yeah, I've been very fortunate, very lucky. I've hit my base goals on practically everything I wanted to invest in. Um, so now I've sort of, which is really weird for me. I feel like my collecting, stacking, investing goals, because I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. I've now took the pressure off, and now I'm starting just to enjoy it. Just by enjoying and looking at stuff that I just want to continue to collect in series that I've built up.
yeah.
Um, and that sort of it's a bit of a challenge for me because I'm like you and probably most people. It's so addictive stuff. Is so addictable. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And if you're into your art, I know you like your history and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
If you're into your art and nature and you like that creative stuff, some of the stuff that's being made out there now is just unbelievable. And they're mixing it in with this lovely thing called silver. And it's a massive discipline for me, especially when I
No,
watch what Cobra brings into the country. And he quite often will text me and go like, "Oh, you seen what I've got?" And I look at it and think, "Oh God, oh
there's some
no,
amazing art pieces. You know what I mean?
crazy nice, mate." And to if you can get the opportunity, which to try and get to the Berlin show is an amazing experience, just to see what's going on in that side of things.
I have an interesting story for you. My niece, her husband,
Mhm.
they live the same town as me. Cause they his father died, and he said, "Oh, he collected coins," and I thought, right, I'll go up and have a look.
Yeah.
And his father's been dead 6 months, and he left him all his coins.
Yeah.
And I never seen the like of it. I thought, oh, here we go. He had date runs and date runs. Loved Britannias,
Oh, really?
coloured Britannias. Now, I seen coins that were Britannias, but they were lunar years. So
Yeah.
around the rim of the Britannia, there was like
Okay.
a rabbit.
All right. Yeah.
And he had done a bit of research. Now, he sold about a carload to a guy, about £4,000 worth of stuff to a guy in England.
Yeah.
And he put stuff in the, I mean, literally, I've never seen the like of it. I'll send you pictures. I took a few pictures.
Oh, nice.
There's lightning here. But he was glad to get, because he had it in one of his rooms in his house and he couldn't get moving. I mean, it took up half a room.
Really?
And there's coloured Britannias, there's Libertads,
Wow.
there's 5 ounce, 10 ounce. He loved silver coins.
Amazing.
Yeah, I must send you the pictures. I mean, Cobra would have a field day. I never seen anything like it.
Wow.
Didn't even knew they existed. And I don't know, did somebody paint them or were they released? Did the mint release them in a special, I mean, boxes piled up high? Like, date run, date run, date run, date run. Like,
Really?
oh, crazy.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is amazing.
And he said, because I think he had sovereigns on it, but I only found out after the fact. And it kind of said, I wish I'd have known you were in it, because I keep this secret. I don't want everybody knowing about this. None of my family know about this.
Oh, really?
This is my wee thing. And then I said to him and showed him my channel and said, look, keep it quiet. And he goes, I wish I didn't have known you were into that.
Yeah.
Because he had sold a lot of stuff I could have got, I don't know what I paid for it, but
Yeah.
I could have said, like, hold them sovereigns for me. He had a few sovereigns and things.
Yeah.
Not a lot of gold now.
Yeah.
Usually 1 gram bars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny what people quietly collect and just accumulate over time.
It's crazy that it was only about 4 weeks ago, my mum had said to me, oh, I think my father left him a lot of coins, worth a lot of money. And I thought, oh, right. What is it? And while I went down and I mean, 10, 20, 30,000 at least.
Jesus.
At a ballpark.
That's a lot of money.
And it wouldn't have been gold. It was just, date runs. Love Britannias.
Wow.
10 ounce, 5 ounce, special editions, boxed from the mint, proof.
Yeah.
All the fancy stuff that you see Cobra has, and probably Stephen.
Yeah.
But you just never know what's going on behind closed doors.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Who you pass in the street?
No, you don't. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. What's your favourite coin? What's your favourite gold?
Favourite gold coin? Oh, has to be my 57.
Yeah.
Gillick.
Yeah.
With the 1 year. Read it, edge, 168 reads.
Yeah.
I bought this off Cobra. I do love this. I mean, look at that. That's the Queen's Beasts in one coin.
Oh, yeah, the completer, yeah.
That's the completer.
Yeah.
Coin-wise, I bought this off Cobra. I'm into new space and astrology.
Yeah.
The James Webb. Mm-hmm. And these stack this way, as you can see, the in a capsule. They also stack around, so you can build it bigger.
Oh, God, yeah, of course you can. Yeah, I can see that,
You can build it this way, have a large one, or you can have them all. But yeah, that's a nice piece. 2 ounce. And I'm a big fan of backyard bullion. I love this silver bar, this hammered bar.
Do you?
Yeah, it's on a 30 or something. 1 of 25.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'll do another one of them, but yeah, 4 bars. This Liquid Metals UK, it was one of the first bars I bought of him, Phoenix.
Okay.
and then gold. I would buy more gold off Backyard Bullion. It's the 1/10. But yeah, I'm only buying gold. I've said it here on this podcast. I will be proven wrong, though.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
It's like probably my next couple of videos that come out. I've started with, welcome to, I'm not buying any more silver. But here we go.
I still remember some of your videos you used to post, like those little teasers with like the postman's coming and it was a letterbox.
Letterbox and the community thing, yeah. It's like I've purchased something, been bad. Said I wasn't going to, but I did.
He used to text me sometimes and go, I've done it again. I've been a naughty boy. What's that? What you've done?
But it's good. I mean, it's like I get a buzz out of it, and you know, you get it, you put it away.
Yeah.
You know, you spend £500 and I don't know, a pair of trainers are £600-700 for a new driver.
Absolutely.
You know, you're replacing that in 10 years, and it's, you know, 5-6 years, and you give it away.
Yeah.
Or if I've got £600-700 and 2 sovereigns, in 10 years' time, it's worth. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, life's life, and you have to, you know, if a bill comes up down the line, you could just go, oh, I'll sell that.
Yeah.
Because that's where I want to get a good foundation stack of just best value sovereigns.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
because I like these, and it's going to be hard to, I mean, I was on Stack Collectors, one of his first Saturday stack chats.
Yeah.
We both asked the question, what would you do if you sold it all? And he goes, we'll buy it all back again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's supposed to be a stack, but I would do want to go from now on. So down the line, I could go, well, where are we going? Holiday, right? Take 2 sovereigns, sell them at spot price.
I know.
Let's go.
That's the reality, isn't it?
It's the same, you know, somebody's got like, the person I was telling you about there with like £20,000 worth of coins. He wants to buy sovereigns because if he got 30,000 in cash in the bank, he'd whittle it away. He'd spend it. He'd buy trainers. He'd buy clothes.
Yeah.
Or if he can't get at that, he has to actually physically go, take a coin, get money for the coin.
Yeah.
And the coins is making more money as it sits there doing nothing.
Yep.
So it just makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like to have a bit of cash, but I would like to have a lot more in metals.
Yeah.
Just sitting making money.
Yes. It's a very strange one, actually, because getting back to what you was asking me about my goals and whatever, I was talking to my wife tonight, funny enough, and I said, do you know the interesting thing about having a real, hopefully a good, educated, diversified portfolio? Sounds very posh, that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is that all of a sudden, once you get to a certain base, then you see it work for you. And you know the old adage about money makes money?
Exactly.
You start to see it at a different level, and it's really weird. I've often heard making your first £100,000 is the difficult one.
Well, it was the old saying of your first million's the hardest million to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think as well, and you should agree that doing this, watching videos, educating yourself.
Yeah.
Wished I would have learned this 20 years ago.
I'd be sitting on a yacht somewhere in the Mediterranean having this conversation with you, dude, if I had.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I mean, it's just the way that you're spending. And we always say people with money, miserable. That's why they have money.
Yeah.
And it's maybe just the way that they make the money work.
Yeah.
Or I suppose in the last 3 years, this has only been apparent to me.
Yeah.
Because I would have spent nothing on £2,000 or £3,000 going on a holiday.
Yeah, me too.
Easy.
It's mad. On a car. On whatever.
Don't talk to me. If I could get motorbikes and cars, if I could get the money back.
Yeah.
Now, books, recommend it. You recommend it. I heard it. You talking about Lily Singmay's book about Lily Alden, Broken Money.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm halfway through it. I like it. I like a bit of history about that. But I've listened to the Middle Falls Time Travel series. It's an author. And he, in the books, there's about 20 of them or 18 of them. He dies in their life and then gets put back to his 10-year-old self or 18-year-old self or a girl, certain scenario. So a thought question, if you could wake up back at primary school, but you have all the knowledge you have now, you are you, but you're in a 8-year-old body.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
It would be very amazing. But I suppose you would never experience the life that you've had today through this experience if that happened. Yeah. And to be fair, I don't know about yourself, but for me personally, the hindsight thing would be absolutely amazing. But I'm so pleased I found it now. You know, and as an alternative to never. And I never forget some Camel saying to me a couple of times over my journey, he said, once you know, you'll never not know. You then just choose to know, or you don't want to, but you can't not know. And it's a game changer. It's a massive game changer. And until
there's definitely that phrase, you can't not know.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can choose to ignore it, but you can't not know it. It's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
No, I really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it. And although my scale is a lot less than everybody else, but that's not the point. It's not how much you have or who's got the most. No. It's what works for you.
It's the journey. Yeah.
I mean, I think I talked to you a while ago about I've got X amount of coin. Do I buy Bitcoin or do I buy Sovereign?
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
I think I might have put it up in the community, and
did.
It all went Sovereign. And I thought long and hard about it because it was at a good price, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I just thought, do you know what? The heart wants what it wants.
Yeah.
And I feel content with what I've done and bought Sovereign.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it made me feel warm inside and full of joy. And that's the secret to life.
Yes, it is. Major league. I can't disagree with you at all. I have people every day, people know I like Bitcoin and whatever. And they say to me, oh, I want to sell it. And I go, well, sell it then.
Yeah.
Just sell it. What's the problem? If it's going to eat you alive, and I said to someone recently, if you're in a dilemma and it's going to eat you alive, then there's no point in holding it.
No.
You want to get rid of it, because what's the point of holding something that you're forever just thinking, I really want to sell it. That's not the point. Put it into something else, you know.
If you're worried about it and you're checking the charts every day to see what price it's doing, you don't know the swings, you don't know the forget about it. There's a time to worry about that asset particularly, but anybody who's fretting and worrying, don't go into it if you can't afford it.
Yeah. Don't
be borrowing money to do it.
No.
And worrying about it, because that's an early grave. That's drive you mad.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of the way I work. Oh, I've got 20 quid, 30 quid spare in my pocket here. What will I do with that? Put it away.
Absolutely.
Put it into like a investment box per se.
Yep.
And I guess to a certain point, buy a piece of gold.
Yeah.
Buy a piece of Bitcoin. Oh, so there's a silver coin Cobra has. Yeah. Damn Cobra. Damn him. My gold fund's taking a dent because of Cobra. He'll be laughing at this.
His auction's on now, isn't it, actually?
I think I'm getting a few, not Discord, what's the other one? The members club was coming up with me. There's just a few. I seen his video that he was promoting. I've got a lot of stuff. He's just back from Florida.
I know.
Amazing looking some stuff.
I know.
He seems to get the pieces that nobody else can get or has.
Yeah. Yeah, he works flipping hard.
He does work hard. Fair dues to him. I remember his first videos coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just buying everything.
Yeah.
No, he's a good lad, Cobra.
He has. He's got heart gold.
Definitely. I mean, you've done the face reveal. He done the face reveal. Yeah. I, to you and Cobra, have done a face reveal. Sent him a wee video.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think, like you say, it's more personal.
Of course it is.
I don't mind. Look, my YouTube channel, I probably might not show my face on it, but at the same time, I'll send you my face.
Yeah.
I'll send you a quick video. Like, I rang you tonight, just lying on the sofa. What are
Yeah.
we doing?
Yeah.
Let's get this done.
That's it.
Look at the golf course behind me.
Yeah.
And then we just set up and away we went.
Yeah. You got to trust some people in life, dude. You can't
You
go
can't
through
be
that.
sheltered all your life. You have to let a bit in.
Yeah, you got to.
But I definitely do agree with you. You know, your channel started and you just felt the need to come clean and be honest. This is who I am.
Yeah, I think it's an age thing for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
It's just like, oh, for God's sake, I can't be this. I just can't be this person hiding in the shadows all the time. It just doesn't meet the ethics of what I stand for.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm doing it under different circumstances
Yeah, of
because
course. Yeah, of course.
it's going to be down the line a surprise, my pension. I've been doing this, that kind of.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I don't think Mrs. Shaney would get the aspect of it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? She's not like, I'm not saying it would be a waste of money, but it's my thing. It's my hobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And down the line, 10, 15 years' time, if we're even here,
That's
it's a benefit.
true.
It's a win.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? France for the weekend? Let's go.
If we can.
Been to France as well. Been to Paris.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of cities. I don't like cities and built up areas. I'm from the country. You see, I like fields and green and
Yeah, me too. I love my nature.
sides.
Nature's
Nature.
It's so good. So good.
Yeah. Seen a lot of nice things on the golf course at the minute.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Few foxes, pheasants.
Yeah. We're so lucky
Yeah.
where we live. Obviously, you've
Yeah.
seen the videos of the foxes and,
Yeah.
Kobe was on the phone to me the other week and I said, mate, you wouldn't believe what's just walking past my back door. And he said, what? And I said, the most beautiful looking pheasant.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, if only I could live in somewhere like that. And I said, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. So lucky.
Where I play golf, there's 2 golf courses and there's 2 pheasants. Now, I haven't seen them this year.
Yeah.
But as Tennyson said, nature red in tooth and claw.
Yeah.
So there's 2 male cocks that's got about beautiful white ring, lovely colours, and there's a few hens.
Yeah.
And what you normally see would be the hens. There's about 3 hens, and then you'll see 8 chicks. Start of the year around May.
Oh.
And as the year goes on and they start to grow to maturity, to adulthood, there's only maybe 1 left.
Yeah.
Because we have foxes. It's a 500-acre site.
Yeah.
And there's birds of prey, there's buzzards and peregrine falcons, red tails, And beautiful. There's a beach, sort of West Strand of the sand dunes, and there's a lady walking her 2 beagles, and they come racing over the sand dunes and go onto the golf course, and they must have got a sniff of the foxes.
Oh, really?
And one of the staff had to get a buggy and sail her about for about 2 hours trying to get her dogs back.
Wow.
Because they must have got a whiff of the...
Yeah.
Okay, it's a golf course, but there's a lot of wildlife on it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. A natural habitat, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and there's places that are sort of cordoned off in certain times of the year. We get a lot of sand martins. Like, we're by the coast, so we don't get our sand off the beach. We take our sand from a dune.
Yeah.
We stockpile it.
Yeah.
To use it in the bunkers because the sand martins nest in it, and you can see like a sheer face.
Yeah, that's it.
Around March, and you can see all the little holes in it where they all nest.
Yeah.
So we use a stockpile, and the environmentalists around, and there's a certain insect. It's natural.
Beautiful.
This one eats that one, and that one eats that one, and you can't do that to that, and you need to let that grass grow. Like, we were doing changes to the course this year, and we had the green staff had to go out and trim about 20 acres.
Wow.
Because that's where they were building the changes, like new tee boxes, new greens.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had to do that to stop birds nesting in it and insects.
Sure. Yeah.
Because the white vis and the high vis vest and the clipboard would just go no. And that's the plan scuppered.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're kind of working this day and age with the golf course and with the environment. More so now than ever.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's important, isn't it? Because I don't know about you, but I always find nature a massive healing process.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Massive.
I mean, my house is full of plants.
Yeah.
I've had plants that I got. My brother works in a garden centre and he's been like, oh, this lady doesn't want this. She says it's not growing. And I take it and put it in my garden and it's thriving.
Yeah.
Or I repot it and put it in my house. My house has got lots of light.
That's it. Good
But
environment.
yeah,
It's good. Mate, what a pleasure. This has been really cool.
definitely. I think we
I've
should
really,
wrap it up.
I've really enjoyed it. I'm just going to ask you one more question.
Cool.
You've done a lot of research and bits and pieces. Um, where do you see the general financial system going over the next decade?
I was going to bring this up. 365 put a video up about a computer, the banks, the Bank of England, with a
Yeah,
whatever payment system they used, and it was like that's the
chat
way they do the
chat system.
CBD's
Yeah.
CHAP system. Today, have you seen the news?
Yes. Yeah.
Grounded flights,
Yeah.
Microsoft something down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Are we going to the digital pound,
Mm,
the CBDC, which leaves? I suppose it leaves us in a good stead
yeah.
because we have what we have, and
Yeah.
we have what people don't know about.
Yeah.
That's off the system.
Yeah.
But then when it goes onto the system, I don't know.
Yeah. It's an interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very interesting, as Camel says, it's a wild time to be alive, for sure. And of course, like, we're getting quite a bit of unrest now, aren't we? We're getting problems in the UK, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, the issues over in America. It's all sort of all of a sudden sort of hitting home to me that, oh my God, this could be a possibility. It really could happen. It makes
I
sense.
mean, on a different note, but same note, we went through COVID, and it was kind of
Yeah,
looking back on it.
yeah,
You were getting a light system to go to Tesco's. You had to stand outside till the green light came on.
yep,
And I'd been in the hospital system in 2019, and I
yeah,
had a year, my first year scan back at hospital. It was February, and it was just starting to, the news was coming out. And me and Mrs. Shaney just went, if we're going to get this, we're going to get it in here in this hospital.
yeah,
And then, boom, 3 weeks later, you're not allowed out your house.
yeah,
Stay at home.
yeah,
So I do see with the politics in America, as you say, and the wars going on, it could just all end up in one big bad mess.
yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
It's very interesting. I mean, that's for another podcast.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you'll have to come on. I'm kind of hoping to get a similar mindset amount. Maybe, do you know how I do my 2 weeks in a sick thing?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the next one's out tomorrow. Well, we're recording the next one tomorrow. It'll be out Sunday. But I'd like to get more than two people on a one-off, and just talk about this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Because
I
I
know
think,
tonight's was more, you said, like a story kind of thing.
yeah, and it's
I'm
been
happy to do. But at the same time, I can debate, stroke, give insight into the world as
yeah,
much as anybody else. And I do
yeah,
enjoy Cobra and Camel.
yeah.
Oh, excuse me a wee minute. Someone's calling up my phone here.
That's okay. All right. Hey, we have Shiny back. This is what I love it, mate. I never panic about anything like that because I love everything so raw because life has to
Yeah.
go on. Life goes on. It is what it is.
Look at my videos. I set up a phone, wing it, don't edit it, one take, and away it goes.
That's it.
Life, things happen. You can't be caught and rolled around this planet.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the podcast thing. Yeah, I mean, any time that Mrs. Shaney's away and we can get it organised,
Sure.
or even I could just say I'm doing a podcast, whatever, because I used to podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be good. But Camel and Cobra, definitely good crack. But as you say, get a format, maybe somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'll always keep two swigs and a cig going as a separate issue, but it'd just be nice to get a few more people interacting, get a community thing going a little bit more with a few more people.
Yeah.
Because we've all got the same common goal. And it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there has been put out for names like, oh, come on, and get on, but they just haven't bit the bullet, and they're.
Mm.
I don't mind doing this. I like coming on and,
Yeah,
spilling your guts, or this is the way it is. There's no
there's nothing to hide. Wasn't
nothing to hide. Yeah.
Didn't get a grilling, did you?
No.
Just talking, what I always try and achieve on this particular podcast is it's just like I've just met you down the pub and we've just had a chat.
Yeah.
It's the way I want it to be. It's the way it should be. More than anything. Otherwise, it can be very false and very unreal, I
Yeah.
believe. So, but no, total pleasure, dude. Thank you so much indeed.
Well, thank you for the invite, and I will go and watch the rest of the golf that I've taped.
Don't blame me, dude. Don't blame. I might jump on and say hi to Cobra and try not to be too tempted. No, I'm not going to be tempted at all. I'm going to be very disciplined. No, mate, thank you very much. Where can people find you if they want to find you? What's
You
your
can
channel
find
called?
me on the YouTubes at Shiny Precious Metals.
Excellent.
And if you give me a follow and a like, I never say this in my videos, but if you want to give me a follow and a like, batter on.
Go for it. I love it, mate. As I've said, I've followed you right from day one. You followed me from day one almost,
Yeah.
and it's an absolute pleasure. And I've said to you before privately, and I meant it. It's a privilege to be able to share certain aspects of
Oh,
people's
definitely. This will be
lives.
the first. This won't be the last time I'll be on. Don't you worry.
Yeah. I'm sure. And whenever Mrs. Shiny's away, just always let me know. Give me a heads up. I mean, we jump on and we'll record something because I'm sure it'll be really, really interesting stuff. So
Yeah.
I'd love it. Absolutely love it, dude. Thank you very much. Enjoy the golf.
Bye bye. Thank you. And stay shiny.
Yeah, definitely stay shiny without a doubt, but keep your gold.
Well.
All right, let me.